All right, so today we're going to dive into something pretty interesting. The 2019 EP Struggle and Success by Kino Worldwide. We've got this review of it that really digs in, and what we're going to try to do today is figure out, what makes this thing tick. But like right off the bat, the thing that just jumps out at me is it was produced entirely by Kanye West.
Yeah, that's a pretty big name to have attached to your project, especially, early on. I mean, even the title Struggle and Success, it feels personal, right? Like a journey. But to have Kanye West in the mix right from the beginning, that's interesting. And the review really sets this up as a moment where Kino is like stepping up in the industry.
Yeah, like a real, demonstration of staying power. And for anyone listening out there, you can actually find this EP pretty easily on like SoundCloud and YouTube. So, after we talk, you can go check it out for yourself.
Definitely. So the review breaks down the EP, and it's actually pretty short, just 3 tracks. It kicks off with a song called Save It For Me. And the reviewer's talking about this like soulful sound, but then these lyrics that are super sharp and, really hit hard. So I'm wondering, what kind of struggles do you think are coming through in those lyrics, with the EP title and all this shit?
That's a good question, right? Like, you've got this soulful vibe, but then maybe some heavier stuff going on in the words. And then it goes into these 2 freestyles, Untitled Freestyle 2 and Untitled Freestyle 3. And the review keeps saying how raw they are. Like, you're really getting into Kino's head, his creative flow, the lyrics, it's all right there. And it's like being a freestyle makes it even more immediate. Like straight from the source.
Yeah, and then you layer on top of that Kanye's production, right? Like, even with the freestyle, it's going to bring this whole other dimension. The review uses the words undeniable edge. And you can totally see that, like with the sound, the layering, even the drums, the samples. It's like he could polish things up without taking away from the raw energy, if that makes sense. So how do you think a producer like Kanye approaches something as spontaneous as a freestyle?
Yeah, it's almost like structured spontaneity or something like that. Now, beyond the music itself, the review talks about how Kino Worldwide is connecting with fans, merch, international shipping, gift cards, even a weekly newsletter. It's like he's thinking bigger than just the songs themselves.
Yeah, it's interesting how artists are really building relationships with their audience now, right? And the review also points out stuff like stage bookings, concerts, features, interviews, radio shows, tours. I mean, that's a lot of activity, right? Like, he's putting himself out there.
Yeah.
So how do you think all this connects back to the struggle and success idea for the people listening to his music?
It's like showing the journey, right? From the studio to like actually performing and being out there. And the review wraps up by saying that struggle and success isn't just entertainment, it's inspiration. And it really cements Kino Worldwide's place in hip-hop, rap, and R&B. It all comes together in the end.
Yeah, totally. The review frames it as a big statement, even though it's a short EP. And it's like the sound of the production, especially with Kanye involved.
Yeah.
It all just amplifies Kino's voice and his message of like overcoming obstacles.
So in the end, this deep dive into the review of Struggle and Success shows us a project that's small but powerful, right? You've got these really thoughtful lyrics, those raw freestyles, and then Kanye West's unmistakable influence on the production. It all works together to tell Kino's story.
And that leaves us with a question for everyone listening. The title is Struggle and Success, Right? And we have a structured song and freestyles. So what does that tell us about how an artist grows and changes? It's not always the straight line, right? And there's this back and forth between a polished presentation and something raw and unfiltered. So where do you see this happening in the music you love? Think about it.